Welcome to Castles to Cauldrons, where every journey starts with a little bit of magic.
Welcome to Castles and Cauldrons. This is episode 17, right?
17.
Yeah. We hope you're having a good day. I'm Jason Davis, your host. I'm here with Terry, Micah, and since Rachel couldn't join us, we have a guest host of Siobhan.
Welcome back, Siobhan.
Thank you. Thank
you.
you.
Your fourth time on, third time on?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I'm just waiting for my jacket.
It's 3 or 4. It's definitely one of those.
It's 4 because I keep saying that it's her last episode. She can't go past 4. So she can't get her jacket. Today's topic is going to be about Disney Deluxe Resort Hotels. And to join us in that conversation, we have Nicole from Magical Travel. Nicole, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Nicole. I am from Rhode Island. I've been with Magical Travel for about 3 years. I've been a Disney fan my entire life, though. In my spare time, when I'm not planning vacations or chasing my 3-year-old around the house, I like to crochet and play Dungeons and Dragons and video games with my husband.
Well, it's good to have you on. Nicole is one of our agents also that have been on the Star Cruiser with the recent rumor, the Star Cruiser being turned into the Imagineering offices. I just figured I'd get her take on it right quick.
It's bittersweet because the Star Cruiser was the most incredible experience I have ever had the opportunity to participate in. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I am not a big live action role play fan. And I loved the experience so much. So I'm really sad to see it go. And I'm sad that it is being turned into something not fun. But I am hopeful that it means that more really innovative and creative things happen at Walt Disney World because Imagineering will be right there.
Siobhan, you went on it too, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I also loved it. And I will tell you that I am not a new Star Wars fan. I like the old series, the original. I didn't really know too much, but I loved just interacting with everybody that was so into it. And I'm very grateful. I was a very last minute add-on. Somebody couldn't go. Actually, Rachel was the one that couldn't go. So I took her place.
So while we're on news, there's a little bit of news out from Disneyland this week from celebrating their 70th anniversary. We got a lot of information a couple weeks ago, but these are attraction based. So I figure we can talk about them for a little bit. The first one is that the Sherman Brothers will be taking over the Main Street Cinema. This one's not as big as the next one, but what they're going to do is pay tribute to both Richard and Bob and what all they've done. So on the screens, they'll be showing a documentary that they've done. It's about 3.5 minutes called The Last Verse. And it's talking about how Richard wrote a new verse for It's a Small World. And that's going to debut on July 17th. Something that's pretty cool to me that you're going to start really paying homage to people that have a big presence in both Disney parks and Disney movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice.
Kind of wish they would do a like Show the Boys, or maybe showcase some of the songs throughout stuff that people don't really realize that they wrote. But the big announcement was the opening.
I love the Sherman Brothers. I just want to add that in there, that I love the Sherman Brothers. And I did the Adventures by Disney this last year, and it was like one of the first stars that I wanted to go see. That I did the Adventures by Disney Southern California, and I wanted to go see their star on the Walk of Fame. And yeah, I love them.
You want emotional. You did the tour, but you didn't go into the office, right?
We did not go into the office. Correct.
So you go into his office, they tell you about it, and you can hear in the background they're playing music, but you're paying attention to what's being said about, the different things they're pointing out. And then when everything goes silent, they're playing Feed the Birds that was recorded in the office.
Yeah,
on that piano. And it was Dick that was the only one that was able to play it. And we had lost him like 2 weeks before I went.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like almost like a bawling kid sitting right there because of all the emotions right there being at once. So yeah, I feel you on the Sherman Brothers. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Walt, the Main Street Opera House, which is home to Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. They will be doing a Walt Disney show that we've talked about in the past, where he's going to be in his office that we were just talking about. And this also debuts on July 17th.
And that one's called Walt Disney: A Magical Life, right?
The cool thing we got for the announcements of this was they're getting a lot of stuff off on loan from the Disney Family Museum in San Francisco. So we all know Walt had an apartment upstairs in the firehouse. The only thing that people don't realize is that that's not the original furniture. They tell you there's a lot of original stuff in there, but the furniture is not. And they've got some of the items from there to be in this exhibit talking about Walt's life. I think that's super nice.
I look forward to that.
It's going to be amazing.
It kind of makes me want to plan a trip out to Disneyland just to be able to see this new show and the animatronic, because I think it'll be really cool.
Me as well.
It makes me wish my trip was over the summer.
Yeah. I've been looking at going.
Me too.
To the Fan Fest for Universal Hollywood. And then I'm like, oh, if I do that, then I have to take another trip so I can see all this stuff that they're doing for the 70th. Because that don't start until after the Fan Fest at Universal ends. So that's all that's going to happen so far that we've got for Disneyland 70. That's new. So while we're over in Disneyland, let's go ahead and start talking about our topics this week. Disney Deluxe Resorts. Disneyland only has 3 hotels. They're all considered deluxe in their point of view. You can get moderate in value by staying off-site. They come with great advantages, though. Nicole, what are some of the advantages of staying on-site at Disneyland?
Well, to be honest, it's not the same as Walt Disney World. You don't get a lot of like the extra perks, but there is early entry. It alternates what park it is each day, but it's 30 minutes early entry to each park. My favorite is when it's at Disneyland Park, because you can actually hop on the monorail, and as soon as you scan into the monorail from downtown Disney, you are inside Disneyland, so you can start making your Lightning Lane selections, which is one of my favorite little hacks.
I've never thought about that.
Oh yeah, it's the best.
Because I'm always like, okay, once I scan in, but we stay, we just stayed at Pixar Place in December. I'm going to stay at Disneyland Hotel a couple times, so it's like, well, I don't ever think about just scanning it at monorail and go down.
Yep. That's, for me, one of the perks of staying in the Disneyland Hotel is because you have to walk right by the monorail entrance anyway to get all the way down to the entrance plaza. So you might as well just hop right onto the monorail. And as you're rolling around, you just make your selections.
I do think those entrances that Pixar Place and Grand Californian have are really good perks too, because when everybody's waiting outside at the main gate to get in Pixar Place, you can come in the back door over there and end up at Goofy Sky School. And then Grand Californian, you end up right there in Grizzly River.
Yeah, you come out right across from Grizzly River Run, which is really nice. I don't know if we were supposed to be able to do this, but when we were at the Disneyland Hotel, we got coffee at Pixar Place and then walked through the Grand Californian, and we were able to enter with all the Grand Californian guests into Disney California Adventure.
Yeah, all Disney Resort guests have right to enter the theme parks from any of the resort areas.
Which that was really nice. I will say there was a bit of a backup just because you kind of get funneled down into one line really to get through there. So it took a little while longer than we expected it to, but it was really nice to just come out right into the park, especially during that early entry time.
Yeah, because if Soarin's something you want to do and it's a high wait time, you're right there at it. And then the Pixar Place, if you want to do Incredicoaster, it's not but like a 10-minute walk. So you're ahead of the game getting on the super cool, super popular rides.
Yes.
I really like staying at Grand California because of the ease of entrance into the parks. But I do like Nicole's tip about going on the monorail. I think that is genius. Maybe I'll have to do that. And I think that pedicab service would do wonders there.
especially end of the night.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Somebody needs to come up with that pedicab service there.
Disney Grand California is beautiful. I stayed there over my birthday a couple years ago, and it was just, I mean, a beautiful resort itself to be at. We didn't really take advantage of all the things that the resort has to offer because we spent most of our time in the park. So we just didn't have, we didn't get to experience everything it has to offer, but the rooms were beautiful. We had like a little balcony that overlooked like the pool area. It was just, I loved it. If I could go back, I feel like I would want to take more time to spend at the resort and actually take advantage of the stuff that the resort has to offer.
Just walking through the grounds are so beautiful there. I would have loved to have been able to go in and look at the pool. When we were there at the Disneyland Hotel, we stayed at the new villas. We did a deluxe studio at the villas, and it was so beautiful. It has me seeing the pictures, jumping over to Disney World, seeing the pictures of the new rooms at Bay Lake Tower. They look very much like the villas at Disneyland Hotel. So I just know it's going to be incredible. But we really liked it. And I loved the new Steamboat Willie splash pad over at that new pool.
I really hated the idea of what it was going to look like, the Disneyland one. Because we were there during construction. I'm like, man, this doesn't match the aesthetics of the other three towers and just going to stick out. When I went last June, I also stayed in a studio, and it was like, okay, I'm fine with it. Everything, walking in and seeing the huge mural right there.
Yes.
And I think that's, that's something that most of those towers have, is some type of artwork when you walk in the lobby. But theirs was just so much better. And then the restaurant was actually really good.
I have a really funny story about when we ate there, though. It was freezing cold. We went in February. The weather was pretty terrible while we were there. We just had a really rainy week when we were out there. And they had patio heaters, like the propane ones. There were at least 3 cast members trying to light one of them. They could not figure out what was wrong with it. And my husband actually he felt the need to step in and help them because they had the gas all the way up and were trying to light it. And he was like, let me help you before you blow up this whole restaurant.
Or they just don't have any hair by the end because they have a big fireball.
Yes. They were burning so hot that the metal was red.
Oh.
Yeah.
I will say, I think Disneyland itself, like the Disneyland Hotel itself, is the hangout hotel. And Grand California and Pixar Place are both kind of like where you want to lay your head, go to sleep, come back, get up and go, depending on like what type of bed you want, or even if you want better food. But Disneyland with the pool, the Steamboat Willie splash pad, and then infamous Trader Sam's.
Oh, yes.
You can't go wrong sitting outside after a long day in the parks and just having some drinks.
The atmosphere over there is so nice too. It really is just like a tiki bar atmosphere. Everything you could want from it. The flickering tiki torches, the Edison bulbs. It's just beautiful.
And whether you're inside or outside, it's great. Because inside you're going to have all the shows and everything like that happening with different drinks. But outside, they usually have some type of musician or maybe a little group singing, so it makes the atmosphere even better. And I sat out there one of the last times, just right, like they sat me right next to the guy. I'm like, okay.
We did get lucky enough to snag a reservation, so we were able to go inside and see everything and all the interactive things that happen when you order drinks. That was really fun.
I'll say one last thing. We did stay concierge at Pixar Place. Loved it. I got to walk in and have free food, free alcohol throughout the stay because we were staying at a discounted rate. So that was like super good knowing that we didn't pay full on for the room or for the food because usually that's baked into that fee. But we were pool terrace view, so we could walk right out to the pool if it was warm enough because it was 60 something degrees. And there was a bar right there around the corner from our room. So Bethany would walk out while I was watching football, go grab some drinks, bring them back to us.
I would love to stay at Disneyland Hotel. When we were out there, we just got a last minute reservation to Goofy's Kitchen, and we were still on East Coast time. So our reservation was at 10 p.m. like California time. So we were literally dragging, and we really wanted to like spend time and look around the Disneyland Hotel, but we literally were almost falling asleep at dinner. So it was like 1 a.m. and we're eating like the peanut butter and jelly pizza from the dessert bar, just trying our best to stay awake. And it just looked so fun, but we were just like, we like have been awake since I think it was like 4 a.m. East Coast time, and it's now like 1 a.m. and we were just like, we can't stay awake and do this. And then the rest of the time we were just in the parks and didn't even take time to look at the resorts, which now, you know, hindsight's 2020. I wish we would have taken more time to explore the resorts than we did.
Terry, as your first trip to Disneyland, don't take your time in the resorts. Just go have fun.
That's what I don't think you made any mistakes, Mike. I think you did what most normal people would do, and you're there for the fun. At your second, third time, whatever, you can just take more time in resorts. But your first time, you got to dive head first into this park.
Anything else need to be said about the Disneyland hotels?
You have to get the long beans with the togarashi aioli from the quick service restaurant at the Disneyland Hotel. You have to, even if you don't have time to go check everything out, the lobbies of each of the towers at the Disneyland Hotel are really, really cool and worth just popping into for a couple seconds, especially to see, like Jason mentioned briefly, the murals. But all of the original towers have really cool dioramas of different attractions or things that they're themed on. So it's worth even just popping in for a second just to look at it.
Oh, that's really cool.
So like, Frontier Tower has an actual layout of Big Thunder Mountain for Disneyland. Jungle Cruise is an adventure tower. I think they have some story arcs and stuff like that, some little artifacts. But the cool thing for me, history-wise, is that the original tower for Disneyland Hotel is Frontier Tower. So when you walk into that lobby, it looks so much different than the other ones because it was designed to be the entrance to the original Disneyland Hotel, not Fantasy Tower now.
I do have a question about Disneyland Hotel. I know some of the rooms, I know not all, have the light up headboards with the fireworks.
I think they all have them. Besides,
Except,
like,
but not the villas, right? The DVC side, they don't have that.
Right.
That's one of the reasons I want to stay there is the light up headboard. Like, I literally want to do that.
Their headboards have a backlight to them, though, but they're not the fireworks that play or anything like that. It's just something simple. And
yeah, we had a Tiana themed room.
I think this is what I had.
But when we go to Disney World, my kids always love to stay in Port Orleans for the light up firework bed. I mean, we've stayed there more than once just because, and they're boys, but they still love that theme room with a light up hit. They think that's the coolest thing in the world.
So that's all we have to say about the Disneyland hotels. We'll cut it to a quick break and come back and talk about Walt Disney World.
Are you dreaming of your next adventure but overwhelmed by planning? Magical Travel has you covered. With over 22 years in the business, we specialize in Disney destinations, Universal Studios, cruise vacations, and all-inclusive resort getaways. Our services are 100% complimentary when you book a vacation package with one of our knowledgeable agents. Request a free quote to start the planning process at magicaltravel.com. Mention our podcast to be connected with one of our agents you are listening to if you like what you hear.
Walt Disney World has a lot more hotels in general than Disneyland, as everybody knows, and vary from the value to deluxe, and then you can bring in deluxe villas and technically campgrounds too. They're in there with the values. So it's going to take us some time to talk about every single one of the Walt Disney World resorts. So we're just going to talk about the deluxe resorts today. Nicole, which resorts have you stayed at?
Riviera, which is at the top of my list. Yacht Club, Beach Club, Grand Floridian, Wilderness Lodge. And technically, if you want to get really technical, the new cabins at Fort Wilderness are deluxe villas. So that is my second under the radar favorite place to stay and still qualify for all of the deluxe perks.
How are the new cabins?
I loved them.
They are deluxe.
They look cute.
Yeah, they look cute.
Oh, and Animal Kingdom Lodge. Forgot about that one.
So which ones have you not stayed at then? I think that
I
would
think it's a shorter list.
Contemporary, Polynesian, Boardwalk. I think that might be it. I don't know if I'm missing any others.
Old Key West. Did you say that one?
Oh, no, but I have stayed at Old Key West and Saratoga Springs. I forgot about that.
I'll take this one out.
I missed resorts. We're talking about ones I don't even have on my list.
But there's so many of them. No one can fault you.
Although I will say Saratoga is my least favorite.
Terry, have you stayed Deluxe?
No, I have not.
Micah, have you stayed Deluxe?
Only at Disneyland.
Okay, so I'll do my list. It's definitely not like Nicole's, but I stopped at Terry's because Saratoga is on mine. I've stayed Saratoga, Old Key West, Contemporary, Boardwalk, Yacht, Animal Kingdom.
Terry and I can talk about the ones we want to stay at.
Yeah, we've dreamed a lot.
You can ask Nicole
Thought about it.
All the ones.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Rachel to shell out for a bungalow for us one time. We're working all angles here.
Terry, what was your question on Saratoga?
Oh, just of the Deluxe, because obviously there's nothing bad about them or wrong with them. So it's your least favorite because
It's very large. I am not the best with directions. So it's easy to get lost in. And it does have an internal bus loop that I feel like takes forever to get through, to get out of the resort and on your way to the parks.
just like Caribbean Beach of the
It's
modern.
even bigger than Caribbean Beach, I feel like.
That's why I didn't like. I like the look of Caribbean Beach, but everything you just said was why I didn't like Caribbean Beach. It was just too spread out, too many bus stops. Like, I just want to walk to the front and get a coffee in the morning and walk back to my room without making a 2-mile hike, in between.
To get a coffee or any breakfast, you have to go to the main lobby building. And so you have to either walk there, and it's beautiful. The grounds are absolutely beautiful. It is very country club feeling. You do kind of feel like you're in an apartment complex rather than a Disney resort. And it is right next to the golf course. So it's beautiful, and it's a nice, peaceful, quiet walk because there really isn't a whole lot going on around there. But if you want your coffee quick, or you have hungry kids and you just want to get breakfast in them, it can take a little while to get over there.
The Treehouse Villas are included in Saratoga Springs as part of the resort. You didn't stay there, did you?
No, I haven't yet. I actually had them booked for last year, and then Club Level at the Grand Floridian became available, so we switched to that.
I'm with you on Saratoga being so big and the internal bus. It's worse when you stay over at the Treehouse Villas because you've got to take a separate bus from the villas back to Saratoga Springs, and then you get on the bus there. And, usually if you're going to a park, you're going straight out. But on the way back, you're hitting all the stops before you get to the main bus stop that you get off on to get to the Treehouse. So every time we stayed, the last time I stayed, minivans were just coming online, and we took a minivan every time we wanted to go somewhere. It's just like our time versus a little bit of cash.
I never rent a car, but I think if we were going to stay at the Treehouse Villas, I would absolutely rent a car just to even drive to the main parking lot and then get on the bus there. So I don't have to transfer.
It's bad. Now, the Treehouse Villas are great because you get a full kitchen, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. You have a nice living room and then a porch with a grill. So you're sitting there, you're in your own little home for the week or however long you're there. So you can feel comfortable. You don't have to worry about the neighbors, kid running and beating on the wall. If it's a kid beating on your wall, it's your kid. But yeah, that internal bus is the worst when it comes to it. But the best thing about staying at Saratoga to me is the boat launch and that it's so close to Disney Springs. Yes. And that goes with Old Key West as well, being right there where you can get on a boat. But at Saratoga, you can actually walk. And if you're on that end of Saratoga Springs, it's not but like a 15-minute walk to go to downtown or Disney Springs and get your drink on and then come back.
I've never stayed at Saratoga Springs, but it's on my list because I am a horse girl and I know the theme of the entire resort is Disney horses. And to me, that just would make it worth staying there for me. Even though it's big, I don't care.
It's cute, and the rooms are really nice. They were recently refurbished, so they're bright and airy and just absolutely beautiful.
And they're a larger footprint too, because they're the second DVC for Florida, second ever DVC, I think.
Yes.
But so they have a much larger floor plan than what the other DVCs have. Old Key West has the biggest because they were the original DVC.
I was unimpressed by my room at Old Key West. I think it just needs some TLC. But overall, I really liked the vibe and the feel of that resort.
When did you go?
It wasn't that long ago. I want to say 2 years ago.
Okay. We stayed during COVID. It was September of COVID. And it was, I think they had just recently redone a lot of those rooms and it looked good. You know, you walked in, it was like, oh, this is nice. But it's the look that every Disney hotel has. But I haven't been since then. So that's been 5 years.
I was in a studio and it was on the ground floor. And so it had like French doors that opened up onto the patio. Yeah. So I didn't love that. It didn't feel as secure as the newer ones with the sliding doors or like the actual like heavy outside doors. And it had carpet, and I hate carpet in hotels.
Okay, so ours had hardwood floors, and we stayed in a 2-bedroom with a lock off, and had the wooden floors. So maybe they just hadn't gotten to that room yet.
Yeah, maybe not, or maybe they did the villas and left the studios for last, like you said.
I will say that for Old Key West, best restaurant by far in a Disney resort that you can probably get a reservation for anytime you want to is Olivia's.
That's on the top of my list to go eat there, to make it over to Old Key West and go eat at Olivia's Cafe.
Had never done it. Jerry was down there was it September or October that we met up?
It was the end of August.
Okay, so it was opening weekend of HHN. Met Jerry at Olivia's, but she's like, hey, I'm eating there. You want to meet up? And then we'll go over to French Quarter and have drinks with Nicole and Amber. I ate the fried chicken at Olivia's, and I will preach that that's the best fried chicken ever.
I was by myself when I stayed at Old Key West, so I didn't end up making a table service reservation for that trip. I was actually down there. When I stayed there, it was the trip that I went to do some resort tours and to tour the Wish. So I wasn't really in the room very long at all, but I'll put Olivia's on my list now.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I really like Olivia's too, to be honest with you. I like all the pictures that they have in there of previous people that have been there. And I was actually pleasantly surprised at Old Key West as a whole. I really like that their rooms there have a dedicated 2-queen room versus, a queen bed and a pull down.
And those pictures, those are like the only DVC members, right? That's the only way you got on the wall was be a DVC owner and go eat at Olivia's.
Yeah, I really like it there.
It feels like Grandma's Kitchen type thing, like walking
Absolutely.
in. So,
well, now I have to go.
Well, I mean, and if you say it has the best fried chicken, because I really enjoy the chicken and waffles from Homecoming at Disney Springs. It's really good. So
those are probably like the top 2. And then Chicken Guy's up there too, if you've never had Chicken Guy.
Oh, I love Chicken Guy.
Grand Floridian, which is the flagship resort for Walt Disney World. And Narcoossee's, it sits over the water, right? That's the...
Yes. Yep. And if you time it correctly, you can go out on the balcony and watch the fireworks.
Mm-hmm. Oh. They pipe the music in too.
And that's something for all the deluxe resorts on the monorail loop. I don't know about Wilderness Lodge, but all their restaurants usually have, if they have a view of the castle, they pipe in the music. So Ohana will do it and California Grill will do it too.
They even do it at Grand Floridian in front of like Gasparilla's, which is like at the marina area, not just by the boat launch, but they do it at Gasparilla's too. They pipe the music in there as well.
That's cool. I know they put it on the boats if you take a the little boat out there into the middle of the man-made lake.
The little boat. You mean the Grand One yacht?
No, the pontoon boat. I'm not as fancy as you. Other food at Grand Floridian. You have 1900 Park Fair, which recently reopened as they got rid of the Cinderella theme and the British theme and just went straight Disney characters of the Cinderella,
Aladdin, Mirabelle, and Snow White.
It's Prince Ali.
Right. Aladdin as Prince Ali. Yeah. I loved that character breakfast. I loved it.
Jason, I went with you.
Yeah. Another restaurant is, what's the cafe?
Grand Floridian Cafe.
Cafe.
Mm-hmm. Citricos.
Citricos. And then you have Enchanted Rose as a bar. And then my favorite restaurant that we have to eat at every time is Victoria and Albert's. It's just a staple for us.
It really is.
No, I've only eaten there once.
I was about to.
Fancy.
I was nodding along like that was.
Cool.
What other hotels do we want to talk about at Walt Disney World?
Well, we should, since we're talking about Grand Floridian, we can talk about staying there.
I was going to say.
No, how is staying there? You stay level there.
I absolutely loved it. I really didn't know what to expect, honestly, because it is the flagship resort. It's very beautiful. Everyone jokes that they feel like they don't belong when they walk into the lobby, especially if they're visiting from a different category of resort. But I absolutely loved it. It was honestly one of my most memorable resort stays. It was so relaxing, and I just loved everything about staying there, honestly. And club level really helped. So
is club level in the main house, or is it in one of the other buildings?
We stayed in the main building.
Yeah, and post-COVID, they don't have a Sugarloaf building. They still have the building, but it's no longer club level. So club level is only in the main building.
Okay.
And it's amazing because you walk in and you get on the elevator. You need to use your magic band to even go up there. And the elevator just opens up right onto the club level lounge. So it's just amazing. You just walk right out, and you can either go out on the level with the concierge, or you can go up a level to where all the food is. And there's even a third level where you can just sit, and there's a really good vantage point of the fireworks from up there.
3 levels for club level.
Yes.
Club levels.
Yeah.
And there's two sides. They have regular standard rooms, and then on the side that's actually faces the pool, those are the suites over there. So you can have suites that are club level as well.
Mm-hmm. And they have deluxe rooms, which I think sleep 5. Honestly, you could have fit a whole entire family in our deluxe room. But we knew we booked a deluxe room. We did not know what to expect when we walked into that room. So we got to the lobby, and the concierge greeted us and told us, your room's not ready, so check your bags and go enjoy. And when we came back, she saw us in the lounge, and she was like, you guys are not going to believe it. She's like, come back and talk to me after you see your room. And we unlocked the door, and our jaws just hit the floor. I feel like the room went on forever. We had 2 queen beds, but a full living room area with a pull-out couch. The balcony was like so long, it wrapped around the room. And then we had like a little foyer area, and off the side of that was the bathroom, which had a huge vanity and then a separate room for the shower and everything. It was just amazing.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does.
We stayed at a contemporary club level, so we can kind of mix the two in, I guess. But that was almost 10 years ago. It was definitely before Incredibles took over that resort. But there was only one level per club, and it was like a small little room with for seating, and a small room with little doors or whatever, the food and everything. And then our room faced the theme park view, so Magic Kingdom, and it felt the same way. You open the door, it wasn't that massive, but the fact that there was so much room, we had a king bed, we had the balcony, and it was just like, whoa, we're used to Pop Century for so long, or, French Quarter. So walking in there and being able to, run around and work off our food from Victoria and Albert's, it's like, crap, a couch and a bed, and
Yeah.
then it's like, what on
We
earth?
even had a table with chairs that I ended up setting up my laptop at to get some work done. Like, there was so much room.
I really like the club level at Contemporary as well, though. I like the fact that the lounge area isn't always so crowded because there are only the rooms on that floor that are club level. And they do have a floor above that where the suites are located, and that's the tower club level. The standard rooms are called Atrium club level, but I've stayed at both and I highly enjoy the Contemporary.
Yeah, we didn't complain about it.
Yeah.
That was our first experience, and Pixar Place is very similar in my opinion to how they've done their club, besides that it's on a different floor.
Yeah.
Being able to just walk down and talk to the concierge about whatever you need to.
But I like the Contemporary rooms as a whole anyways. I don't think that the Incredibles theme is so much in your face. There's little touches. I like the pillows. I just love the size of the rooms at the Contemporary, because it's an original hotel. The rooms are huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the bathrooms are really big. I love that.
I like the new bathrooms from what I've seen. They're
yeah,
really
I do
nice.
too.
I don't think the Incredibles, even if it's not in your face, I don't think Incredibles theme is a great theme for that hotel. Since it's called Contemporary, it should be full of contemporary type stuff. Not, what is it, Art Deco? Isn't that what Incredibles was?
I was gonna say, do we want to finish the monorail loop and talk about Polynesian?
I've toured Polynesian, but that was redo. So
Yeah. I mean,
What do you-
I always say that there are pros and cons to every resort on Disney property. There's no magical place to stay for transportation wise. Although I have to say that for transportation wise, I think that the Poly is definitely the number one place to stay because it's 2 stops on the monorail to Magic Kingdom, or you can walk to the Ticket and Transportation Center. There's a pathway and get on the monorail to Epcot. Even if you stay at the Grand Floridian, that's only 1 stop to the Magic Kingdom. Great. But if you want to go to Epcot, you have to go to the Ticket and Transportation Center, change monorails, and then get to Epcot. But by staying at the Polynesian, there's a walking path. You just get on the Epcot monorail. So I love that. I love that it's a great location for transportation wise, ease of transportation.
And it's an easy walk from the Ticket and Transportation Center to the Polynesian because when we were there in November, we went over and got to the Ticket and Transportation Center and then walked to the Polynesian just to walk around. And it was just such an easy, nice walk that I was like, oh, it'd be so nice to stay here and be able to do that. To just walk over here, jump on the monorail, to Epcot and get over there, or walk to, because can you walk to Magic Kingdom from there? Do they have the walking path open?
They have, but I don't know if they had closed it when they were building the tower, so I don't know if it's back open yet. Maybe somebody else has, because I'm not walking it. So
no, I mean, but going through security, it's so nice staying at any of those resorts that you go through security, getting on the monorail, and then you're kind of done with that. You don't have to worry about going through security again once you get to Magic Kingdom. I think that's a really big perk. Yeah, that's a perk staying at any of those 3 resorts on the monorail loop, that you're already through security and you don't have to worry about that when you get to Magic Kingdom.
It's also a nightmare though if you're resort hopping right there, if you're doing the bar crawl or something like that, because you have to go through security every time you want to leave.
Yeah, but if you just don't really have anything, I just had my Loungefly backpack and a stroller and it was easy. We just popped the stuff open and we went through it. It was easy.
If it's a long line though, of course that's where Ohana is and Trader Sam's, which I've never been to their Trader Sam's.
So much fun. So much fun.
But I've heard it's not as good as Disneyland's, but it's still just fun.
I just love the way it smells.
The Polynesian? Yeah.
I do too.
And I also love that they have the pineapple lanai and you can just get Dole Whip staying there. And you can just sit there and get it without having to go into a park. And it's just a really nice spot to just sit down and eat, or you can get it and walk around and just look at the resort.
I think Poly for me is probably the best one to be able to just walk out to the beach and relax. I don't feel like I need to do that at Grand Flow because it's so hoity-toity feeling. And you just can't at Contemporary. There's nowhere for you. The beach faces the opposite direction. Polynesian has that feel of you want to be on the beach and with your drink in hand.
Yeah.
Hammock or something like that, watching fireworks.
I will say, back to Grand Floridian quick, the boat launch is a really fun spot just to go out and sit and watch the pageant at night. And it's just so calm and peaceful out there. It's a nice spot to just sit with a drink and watch the world go by.
Well, that's go ahead.
If you haven't watched the electrical pageant, you need to. It is like the most underrated thing in Walt Disney World because no one ever pays attention to it when you're walking out of the kingdom because it's going, but you're worried about going back to your resort, getting to sleep. Just stop and watch it. It's so old, but so great. That's my plug for it. It doesn't ever need to go. It's the last remaining thing that's never been touched from our opening day. So
Well, I was going to say, I like how each resort, like you said, the main monorail loop right there, they all have a different vibe. And no matter which one you walk in, you're like, oh, I want to be here. It's not like, I don't want to go to Grand Floridian because it's so frou-frou. Like once you get in there, you're like, oh, I could live like this. Like this is where I belong. And then you go to Polynesia and you're like, oh no, island life. That's what I want. And then you go, to me, Contemporary is kind of like the cool older brother or sister of the other two. Like they're just kind of, like she said, like Siobhan said, like the theming is so minimal. And like the monorail goes through it, and it's like you said, an OG hotel. Like it just feels a lot cooler than the other one. So you go in that one, you're like, oh, well, I'm at Disney, but I'm also a cool kid at Disney. Like I'm not like the other Disney kids. I'm a cool kid. So I like how, but none of them are off-putting. Like everywhere you go, you're like, oh, this is my place. This is where I belong. And I think that's a really hard thing, I think, to nail down that they did a really good job of doing. I don't know how they did it, but I like that you feel, no matter where you are, you feel like you belong.
So some cool facts about the resorts on the monorail loop. Nixon did give a speech in one of the rooms. I can't remember which one room it is. That's I'm Not a Crook. That was the speech he gave. And then at the Polynesian, what happened at the Polynesian? Anybody
Is it
know?
the Beatles decided not to be a group anymore?
John Lennon sign was the last signature to break up the Beatles, and people are like trying to pinpoint what room it was and everything like that. And there's, people stay there to say they stayed in the same room that John Lennon signed the Beatles away. I mean, that's some cool little facts. You get all those random things happening in a Disney World that you never thought about, so Grand Floridian doesn't get left out. That's where they stayed at Full House. John Stamos sang to Becky. What is it? Uncle
Jesse and Becky.
He sings forever.
How was the new tower, Devon, at Polynesian, the Island Tower?
I really loved the vibe there. The restaurant was actually really, really good. We went there the last week in January. The lobby is beautiful. I love the pool area. The kids has a sailboat with Moana on it, like size. It was I thought it was really cool. Like I said, the restaurant was really good, and there was nobody there. They have indoor and outdoor seating. They don't take reservations. You can walk up, but I enjoyed it there. They had heaters on. It was really good.
They have exclusive areas too, up a little bit higher for you to be able to watch the fireworks from.
They look incredible.
They do. You have to be staying there. I did ask. You have to be staying there in order to access.
Well, that's a good perk for staying there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, if I understand right, that whole resort, you have to use a key to get into, like, go anywhere in the elevators, right? You can't just, you can get into the ground floor, but if you want to go any higher, you have to have a room key.
And I like that for safety.
I like that level of security because there's never been a point at Disney that I felt unsafe. I don't feel like, and you can leave your strollers with your stuff outside of rides and you don't have to really worry about anyone taking it. But I do like the fact that just in case you've paid to be at this resort, so everyone else there has to have a key to do the same thing you're doing. And I think that I like that a lot.
Polynesian also has the bungalows, and those are considered DVC as well. None of us have stayed there. I'm going to assume Siobhan's probably taking a tour.
I have taken a tour, but I actually prefer to put my clients at the villa side for the rooms because they do have two separate bathrooms, and one has a shower and one has a tub. So I really do prefer to put people over in the villa side versus the main resort. But I would love to stay in a bungalow. We should all do that for my 5th anniversary, of being on Castles to
Oh,
Cauldrons.
anniversary.
Well, whatever.
We
should-
We're trying to talk Rachel into getting us a bungalow. We've been working on this since like episode 1.
5th episode appearance celebration.
That's the next one, isn't it?
Right. So we'll have to book it soon.
I like her foresight that we'll be doing this in 5 years.
Yeah,
I like that. That's positivity I need in my life.
All right, so Wilderness Lodge is the other Magic Kingdom area deluxe hotel.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing. It's my favorite one at Christmas.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have DVC. They have 2 DVCs, right? Boulder Creek and Copper Creek, or Boulder Ridge and Copper Creek.
Yep.
And they have the cabins that are their like uber expensive books that no one ever gets because they're always sold out. They also have probably my favorite quick service restaurant on property, and that's Geyser Point.
One of the only times I've ever stayed at a value resort, we had a dining reservation at Artist Point. So we walked into Wilderness Lodge, and I was just immediately enamored by the lobby. So I told Jared, the next time we stay at Disney, we're staying here. And unbeknownst to me, that was the trip that I got engaged on. So, of course, the next trip that we planned to Walt Disney World was our honeymoon. And so my wish came true, and we stayed at Wilderness Lodge.
Oh, that's so nice.
So we did the Christmas tour through Wilderness Lodge on our honeymoon. So they took us to the bar, and we had apple cider at the bar and got pictures in front of the tree and got all the history and whatnot. But it's since the theme of it is national parks type feel, it feels great being over there. The creek running through the lobby down into the, so you have that kind of feel to it where you have the pool comes from a stream that goes back into, of course, it's all filtered and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Geyser that goes off. It's
And do you know that when you look at it from the backside, it looks like it's supposed to look like a bear?
Didn't know that.
what? The resort?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
When you look in the courtart.
I Google
It's a
image
bear.
that.
I never turn around and say, hey, let me look at this and see what it looks like.
I loved it there, though. I always want to stay there again, but then I want to stay new places too. So I haven't been there in a long time, but I love it there.
We joke about the bungalows, and I do want to stay in one, but this is where I would rather stay in a cabin than a bungalow. If you said, hey, we got the cabin, I'd been like, well, that's awesome.
I want to stay there too. Let's go.
I just feel like it seems so much more like quiet too.
Yeah.
Like it's just more quiet and you can just really relax and stuff there too. You don't have the hustle and bustle like with the monorail like you do with the other 3 that are right there at Magic Kingdom. And it's just, I love like woodsy type stuff anyway. And like, it's just definitely in my top 3 of the deluxe resorts I would want to stay at.
You very much have to go out of your way to get there. You have to be planning to go there. So it's not, like you said, hustle, bustle, monorail. And then like the atmosphere being the fireplace that's right there. You know, people are sitting around there watching, you know, their phones or they're reading or something. And it's nice.
It's cozy. And on the upper floors, there's smaller fireplaces and just little alcoves and nooks and crannies. And I love just being able to go and sit.
All right. Well, let's go to Epcot and do those hotels. These should be kind of easy because we'll be Beach and Yacht share a lot of amenities, and Boardwalk is just the best hotel over there. Beach Club, I've never stayed at. Yacht Club, we stayed at. But you stayed at both, right, Nicole?
Yes.
And of course, Siobhan stayed at everything. So
Beach Club was a while ago, though, but I like Yacht better.
I actually haven't stayed at Boardwalk in a really long time. That's the one that I have to stay at next because I haven't stayed there in a long time.
Beach and Yacht, the best thing about them is the pool. And I think we can all agree there. Everybody books those 2 just because that's the only pool back when pool hopping was allowed that no one could pool hop to because it was so popular. Sandy Bottoms is a nice beach and it's huge, and the lazy river.
It's fun. It really is just like an awesome way to spend an evening or your midday break before you go back into the parks for the night.
We enjoyed it. And, like, I've only stayed there the one time, and it was last year, about this time last year. Just over the moon about it. And then it has the boat launch to Hollywood Studios and to Epcot. Yacht has probably the best steak on property, in my opinion, which is at Yachtsman Steakhouse. And then the best ice cream parlor on property, which is only one, but best ice cream you can get is at Beaches and Cream.
They have a really good grilled cheese there too.
I didn't even think about that. That is where you get the kitchen sink if you want to be super fat and try to take it on by yourself. It's great. I've never had it. I always get I think it's a mudslide. There's a bunch of chocolate.
I think when we ate there were at least, the alarms went off at least 3 or 4 times. So all the bells and whistles when people get the kitchen sink, it's fun to watch it come out.
Don't they have the mini version as well, like the mini kitchen sink?
The Mickey and Minnie kitchen sink, which comes out in a little red bowl. This one comes out. The big kitchen sink is a big silver sink.
Well, Nicole says she liked the yacht better. So what did she like about that more than the other? If they're like sister sites, in case somebody's wondering.
I don't know why I like yacht better. Yacht is much.
It's a brighter tone to me. Like when
Yacht Beach is brighter. Yacht is darker. You think?
I like Yacht Club better because the lobby is beautiful to me, and over at the Beach Club, the lobby tends to be a little bit more chaotic. Not chaotic. That's not the right word.
It kind of is though, because I forgot Cape May is right there.
Cape May is right there. And
Christmas, you have the carousel, the gingerbread carousel, so that makes it even worse.
Right.
And Yacht just feels more upscale.
I was going to say, it feels elevated.
And Yacht Club put in, the number one complaint of people for a long time was that Yacht Club didn't have a true quick service location, but they did add one in a couple of years ago, which was a really nice addition.
Yeah, that was nice. And the mobile order works really fast there.
Yeah, great.
So. The only thing I don't like about those resorts is how they're laid out. I feel like it's a labyrinth sometimes to find your room, but that's my only complaint. It's a great place to stay.
That's the same thing with Beach Club or with Boardwalk too. So we'll move over there and Cake Bake. We stayed 4th of July weekend, and it felt like a long walk from the lobby, and it's just twists and turns. It's like on the way to get to our room, it was just like, oh my God, how are we doing this? Then we waited in line outside or in Epcot for the 4th of July fireworks. And the next night we could have watched them from our balcony. Boardwalk is a much more entertaining, in my opinion. I guess it wouldn't be an opinion because it actually is pretty true.
That's fact. It's a fun place.
It's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. You got Cake Bake now, which used to be the ESPN zone. I think it's a bad decision, but that's me. And then Rachel might have mentioned in the past 16 times Flying Fish is there.
Really? That's one of her favorite places to eat. I don't think she's mentioned that yet.
Then right next door is the Abracadabra, which Rachel just figured out.
Abracadabra.
I love it there. I am sad they changed their menu though.
I haven't been in it since they changed the menu.
What did they change?
Well, they got rid of the Parmesan truffle fries, which were the best things ever.
Oh, that sounds good.
And then you had Jelly Rolls, which is actually closing July or August 16th or something like that is what I read here this weekend. And then the dance hall that no one goes to. So there's a lot. Oh, and then entertainment all across the boardwalk at night. So it's so upscale feeling and if you don't feel like a full day in the park, you're just having fun walking around, eating expensive cake, I guess. What makes you like Cake Bake, Siobhan?
Oh, well, the aesthetic is my dream. It's creams, whites, pink, and gold. All things that I adore in life. I walked into that place and I said, I am home. I loved it. Yes, it's expensive, but what isn't at Disney? I would much rather pay $60 for that meal there than $60 for a character meal. That's just where I am at my point in my life. However, I enjoyed the food there. I got a Cobb salad and I adore lavender lemonade and I adore champagne, and they have all of those things there. So that's.
Did you get cake?
I did get cake. I got the Earl Grey cake or the Earl cake, whatever. I said, I'm just going to go big. That's the most expensive slice there. And it appealed to me because it was chocolate cake with chocolate frosting and caramel. There's no way that I could eat the whole thing. So I ate some there and then brought it home with me. And Rachel had some too. And, we agree. It was a great cake, a great piece of cake. I'm not going to do it every time I go there. I've had it. Now I don't need to have it. They also make I call them magic cookie bars, but I don't know what other people call them. Like, it has everything on it. And they're like brownies or with coconut and chocolate chips and
chips and white chocolate.
Yeah, what are those called?
We call
7-layer
magic bars too.
Yeah, I call them magic bars, but they have those there. So I probably would try that next time. But I enjoyed it there. I had a good time.
Can you just go in and order dessert? Like, just get a piece of cake and leave?
Yeah, so they have a sit down restaurant where you can go and sit down and order, but then they also have a to go where you can go in, and they have merchandise in there as well, and then different cakes and desserts.
It looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather walk over to the market and get a cupcake than spend $27. Our cake was very dry and not impressive.
What kind did you get? Do you remember?
Well, I think kind of what Jason is kind of describing here is almost like a difference in like almost like a male and a female. Because I'm like, everything Siobhan said, like I was on board with the colors, the aesthetics, like Cobb salad, lavender, lemonade, champagne. Like I'm there. Like you said, put me there,
you and I will go.
Take me away from a buffet that has characters walking up to me while I'm trying to eat and put me there. But as a male, I can see how that doesn't really, maybe it doesn't appeal to all your senses. So,
well, we just went for the cake. So we did the bakery side, not the restaurant side.
Mm-hmm.
So if we had eaten dinner there, in my opinion, would still be the same on the cake probably. But the food, I'm with you. I would rather sit down at a nice restaurant and eat without character interaction. But right now in our time of life, as we all know.
Yeah, I get that. I definitely, and I like character meals too. I don't mean to poo-poo that, but I definitely.
Yeah, there's
I am at my life. My children are in college. I like to have a nice meal.
And at Deluxe Resort, that's kind of an expected almost kind of meal. Like you said, if like adults are going without children and they decide to stay in a Deluxe Resort, then they have a nice meal to go to that's elevated, that you don't have characters, and it's good, different than normal theme park food and dry cakes sometimes. Maybe it was like the end of the day and that was like the last slice of cake and it had been there.
What kind did you get? Which kind did you get?
Whatever the chocolatey was, I got. And I ended up eating most of it because Bethany and Travis didn't want any. They had like 2 or 3 bites. And I'm like, I'm eating all of it because I'm not throwing away a $27 cake.
It's $30 for the cake. I'm going to eat it all.
Yeah, our bill was $50 for a cake and a drink. I'm like, yeah. We could have just walked over to the little quick service market and gotten a cup.
You could have had the lavender lemonade. It has sparkles in it.
That's
lavender.
It has glitter.
It does. It's fancy.
Yeah. I did, but I like my stay at Boardwalk. I think it's a nice little hotel.
It's beautiful.
I would like it just for the proximity to Epcot, like being able to go over and do stuff at Epcot. Like it just is really convenient for that. Like if that's your favorite park and that's where you're wanting to go, it's really close and easy right there.
The only one I would say is better would be Beach Club if you can get that closest to the International Gateway, just because after you've drank around the world 2 or 3 times, you can just kind of stumble back to your room. But Boardwalk, you still have a little bit of a trek, especially if you're staying where we stayed, because we had to come all the way in, go up, and then come back all the way back to where we were. So
I want to stay in the cottages.
Oh, like the
Boardwalk.
Those are cute.
Are they like the honeymoon cottage?
I haven't, but I want to.
Those things are so cool. Like they have.
I want to see them. Have they been updated at all? Because the pictures that I see of them, they look like they are dated. So I definitely want
I
to
think
see
it'd probably be
them.
hard to update, considering. I mean, it's not for Disney. It's not hard, but since they're 2-story, but we had a perfect view of them from when we stayed
And they only sleep 2 people.
because
Yeah.
that's what they're made for.
I know, but why? There's a couch downstairs.
You really, if they were marketed as like honeymoon things for a while, why would you want?
Yeah,
a
but
kid
they're
on
not
honeymoon?
that anymore. Now they're the garden cottage.
Well, that was like our deluxe room at Grand Floridian only slept 5, but it could have slept like 10 people.
Right. Yeah.
I can see what you mean by they look kind of dated, though.
Yeah.
We had those booked for our honeymoon and then changed our mind so we could be at Wilderness Lodge. And I don't regret it, but
No.
I want to stay in the little cottage.
We'll go to Riviera right quick. Nicole, you said that was your favorite. I have never.
All-time favorite.
I do like the restaurant. I'm all like we've talked about in the past. This is a fat person episode podcast for the most part because every time we bring something up, I always bring up food. Topolino's breakfast was amazing,
Yes.
and I want to do the dinner.
It's
but,
incredible.
So I imagine if that's what the restaurant's food, like the restaurant is, then the hotel's got to be just as good.
It's timeless. It's classic. It's elegant. I just love it. I love the location. I love the Skyliner access. We were really spoiled. Our first day there was in a 2-bedroom villa.
Oh God!
Oh, wow.
For 2 of us in a 2-bedroom villa. That was our baby moon. So we splurged for that. We really wanted to stay. It was one of the only room categories really available at the time that we went. So it was amazing. I loved it. But we stayed in the Deluxe Studios. We've stayed in the Tower Studio. I think we stayed in a 1-bedroom villa. The only one we haven't stayed or seen is the 3-bedroom Grand Villa there.
The Tower Studio I want to stay in just because it's quaint. I mean,
It's fun.
It's for one of those people, like we've talked about before, is when you think about the pop century people and whatnot, I need a place to sleep and shower.
Yep.
Yes. We stayed there for our cruise pre-stay and it was perfect. There was room for us and all of our 7 bags. And it was perfect. And it's quaint. And we were only on the 2nd floor, but we had a head-on view of Spaceship Earth and we could see the fireworks perfectly from our balcony, which was amazing.
That's cool.
Riviera is
really cool.
beautiful. Like the murals and stuff that they have are just so pretty.
I love it. I love all the artwork. I love that it's very Disney without being in your face like Art of Animation.
Mm-hmm.
Very history Disney. Very like you walk in and here's the movie poster from different movies from that country.
Yes.
But then in like the murals, like Micah said, they're not in your face, but they were there for Instagram because as soon as that place opened, that's where everybody was taking pictures. Was Walt and Peter Pan.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. It's just every time I go there, stay there, walk through there, I stop and take pictures in that little tunnel, even though I have a million of them on my phone already.
You never know when you're going to get a better picture, so you always take more.
Yep.
Of course.
But I just don't take pictures. Siobhan, what's your thoughts on Riviera?
So the first time that I stayed there, it was March of 2020, and that was the last resort I stayed at before I was told I had to go home. And I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Our room was great. It looked out to the Skyliner station, so it was that from that part of the resort, and I couldn't see the pool, but I could see like the bocce court and the cornhole below and like the smaller pool. And I loved it so much that I said to my husband, this is where we're going to stay for the 50th anniversary because that's how much I loved it. And then I stayed there for the 50th anniversary, and my room was on it was still considered a preferred location or preferred view, but it was on the other side. And I didn't understand how it was a preferred because half of my view was a wall and I could see Caribbean Beach as my preferred location. So now I make sure that I let my clients know that, hey, a preferred location really just means that you don't have a view of a parking area. But if you have a view of the parking area, you're going to see fireworks. So it's like, what would you like to do? But I love the rooms there aesthetically. They're my style. Next to the new rooms at the Grand Floridian, the rooms at the Riviera aesthetically are my favorite. I love the motifs in there.
Anything else with the Riviera?
I think it's a great option for a deluxe resort stay with kids because everything is in one building. So it's really easy to get from your room to the lobby to dining and back. The kids play area at the pool over there, the little splash pad, s'il vous plaît, is so much fun. And my daughter loved it. We spent hours in that splash pad one day. So I just think if you're going with your family and you want a place where your kids are going to have a good time too, it's a really great choice.
Well, the last one that we have to talk about is Animal Kingdom. And I think for me, this is probably the bottom. And we've stayed there a lot, but it's probably the bottom of the deluxe for me just because of location and how it takes so long to get from one place to another, unless you're wanting to spend the entire time at Animal Kingdom. But if you're at Animal Kingdom Lodge and you go to Magic Kingdom, you're expecting 30, 45 minutes on that bus. And race weekends, it's worse.
I like to stay there if I'm not going to the parks.
Yes, very much. So that's where we stayed for the 50th. But we lucked out. We stayed Jumbo and we had a room right off the lobby, so we didn't have far to walk. But every other time we stayed, we had to take the half-a-mile walk down to the room and then half-a-mile walk back. And it just...
directionally challenged. So when we got directions to our room, we ended up walking in circles because we could not follow the directions because I was leading the way.
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom is a place where, even though that I like the nicer things in life, I typically will take my own luggage to my room if my room is ready because it wheels very nicely. It's not hard, but I always send my luggage at Animal Kingdom because it's carpet. The whole walkways and pathways, they're all carpet. So I always send my luggage because it's too difficult to push there and the hallways are so long. But sometimes those long hallways are worth it for the view because a lot of the times I will just get a resort view there. And every single time that I've got a resort view, I still have animals out on my balcony. Sometimes it's, you have to look out, a different direction, but that's what I do like there, that even if you have a resort for you, chances are you're going to be able to see animals.
Good to make friends with your neighbors. Just to make sure that, hey, I'm just trying to look over at the animals. We stayed there for our honeymoon. It was the last weekend of our honeymoon, which was marathon weekend.
Yeah, we stayed at Jumbo, but I took the walk to Sanaa to pick up mobile order bread service and then walked it all the way back to our room.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, the food in Animal Kingdom Lodge is great. I mean, if you're looking for something to eat outside of Animal Kingdom, Sanaa is great. What's the
Pico?
Yeah.
And the Mara.
Yeah, they're all good choices to go eat at.
You said Jico, right?
Yeah, Jico.
Oh, I thought you said Pico.
No, Jico.
Anything else about Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge?
You do have views of the savannah in certain areas, and if you don't have a room facing them, you can do. There's windows throughout the resort where you can stand in the hallways and see what's out there. Don't feed the animals. There's plenty of signs of don't feed the giraffes, don't jump over the electric fence type stuff. They have some pretty cool activities at night. I've never done any of them, but night vision goggle type tours and.
Yeah, there's the safari that you can do
That
right there
cool.
at the resort.
My understanding is that the original giraffes from the safari itself are now living at Animal Kingdom Lodge because they were already acclimated to the busyness of construction. So they brought them over there and put them in there. I don't know how true that is.
Oh, that's cool. If it is true, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it's a Joe Road resort. So
I like the flamingos by the pool. And sometimes, depending on when you go, they'll have babies. And they are the cutest little things. They're fluffy and white and small, and they're so cute.
It's a selling point right there.
You gotta stay to see the baby flamingo.
But that's like I said, that's probably the lowest of them. It's not saying it's bad, it's horrible or anything like that. But
It's just out there.
yeah, you.
That's the only complaint I've ever heard about it from people who have stayed there. They loved literally everything else, like you said, besides how far away it is from everything else and how far away it is from itself. Like it's just very spread out.
It's not so bad in the morning because you're hyped up, ready to go, and your kids are talking and having fun. But it's on the way back. That's when you're seeing like all the parents, holding their kid for 30, 40 minutes, standing up or whatnot. Did we miss any of them? I think we got them.
My secret favorite place to stay that gets you the extended evening hours and the other deluxe resort hotel stay perks, but isn't technically a deluxe property, is the 1-bedroom cabins at Fort Wilderness.
They're deluxe, but they're just not. They're replacing moderate room.
Yeah. You're glamping.
Yeah.
You're staying at Fort Wilderness, which is technically a moderate
Fort Wilderness value, but the Fort Wilderness cabins are a moderate.
Yes, and now they're getting upgraded to deluxe villas because technically they're Disney Vacation Club property. But
so now that you mention it, the campgrounds are the only place where you can stay at all 3 levels in one area.
Fun fact.
Very true. But the new cabins really are. They're really nice. And if that's something that your family vibes with, that glamping aspect where you can get the golf cart and drive around.
And I stand corrected that I have not stayed at Fort Wilderness.
I loved our time there. Also, fun fact, the bunk beds in the bedroom are bolted to the wall. And ask me how I know that.
Did you jump on them? And
She's trying to pull them apart?
My daughter dropped my iPad between the bed and the wall.
Oh, God. How'd you get it out?
Well, Jared MacGyvered some dental floss into a lasso that he used to slide it out in between the space that was just a hair bigger than my iPad. Yeah. But otherwise, we called maintenance and they were going to come and see if they could get it out.
That is MacGyvering right there. Dental floss.
He is a jack of all trades.
He really is. He really is.
I really like the idea that they look a little bit more like a cabin, and like what you like glamping. What you think about with Gatlinburg and stuff like that, versus the moderate looking ones that look like trailers with bad facades on them.
Yes.
Like when you pull up to those, like I'm pulling up to a mobile home and I'm spending $600 a night to stay in this thing. But then you come over to the new ones and they actually look nice. And it's like, okay, I'm fine with spending this amount of money.
Yeah.
I think like $400 a night for the originals and probably closer to $600.
I should stay there this year.
I honestly, I loved it. It was, I don't know if it's because Lily loved Disney so much on that trip, or if it's just because it really was just so awesome at the fort. But it was one of my favorite Disney stays ever.
Now, did you have to rent a golf cart there?
You don't have to, but it's a really nice, it's a nice to have.
It's big too, because the whole campground is just massive.
Yes,
You want to get around. See, that's what we need to do. Instead of bungalows, since we can't figure that out, probably can't get a cabin. Just get a tent.
I have a tent that
get going, if that's the case. Or
Yeah,
is that's what
Emma
you're really going to do?
They have some pretty big tents nowadays.
I have a
They're
huge
nice.
tent that you could literally park a car inside. It's huge.
But
They had the
I like a
inflatable
room with a
Okay.
shower
That
and a
sounds-
potty
that
and a
sounds
bed,
nothing like I would like.
a climate controlled and a refrigerator and snacks.
You can do all
But
that.
I will say that I love going over there because out to the Fort Wilderness campground because you can go horseback riding and do a trail ride. Not that I did that, but my daughter, that was always, what do you want to do when we go to Disney? I want to go on a trail ride. So she loved doing that. And we would always go over and see the horses over there. And I would always go to the gift shop, and I really liked the gift
The
shop.
name of the ranch is what? Circle D Ranch, where the horses are? Tri-Circle D.
It's Mickey's circles, so tri-circle.
Makes sense.
So Reflections is the next resort to come online. It's not called Reflections anymore. It's Lakeside Lodge, but we don't know anything about it. It's where River Country used to be. The usual spill of Disney stopped building deluxe, build moderate or value to kind of help out.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the last concept art we saw, it looked like a Holiday Inn with Pocahontas statues. So I don't know if it's going to change anything.
I am sad too that it's going to be looming over Pioneer Hall. You're going to be going up to Hoop-de-Doo Review and just see this massive glass monolith of a building.
Yeah, it's Disney's like they have all that property over there next to Magic Kingdom, and they can sell Magic Kingdom, but they don't need to. Doesn't mean they need to build around Magic Kingdom because of stuff like that. Where it's you like that wilderness fear of Hoop-de-Doo and the campgrounds and everything.
I've always said that they need to build some resorts, some value resorts out by ESPN, specifically for competitions, so that those kids have a place to stay, that they're not taking up the inventory from the few value resorts and few moderate resorts that there are.
Yeah, because the two that are closest are going to be Pop and Animation, and everybody stays at Pop because they don't want to take that. It's not a long drive, but it's a good drive from All Stars to ESPN. Well, I think, is that everything we have for the deluxe resorts?
Boy, do I hope so.
So, Nicole, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook. My page is Nicole Pierce with Magical Travel. If you want to use the URL, it's Plan Some Magic, which is also my Instagram handle. And I do have a website. It's plansomemagic.com. Yeah, so my belief is that every vacation is magic, no matter where you go. So, plan some magic.
Thank you for joining us this week. We had a great time with you. We hope you come back and join us. As for the rest of us, if you would like to find us, you can go to magicaltravel.com and either get one of us or one of the other great agents over there. We all love to plan Disney, Universal, or any type of vacation for you. Next episode, we're going to be talking about Mardi Gras and the Universal resorts while we're on the resort kick. We haven't decided if we're going to let Siobhan back or not, but if we do, she's going to be on that episode. We told her no fifth show for her. No 5-timer jacket. So
Thanks.
until the next time, we will see you later.